Welcome to Relaxed Reddit Readings. Today we have 4 Reddit stories for you. Wild Reddit stories that'll make you question everything. Story 1. My roommate invaded my space, so I got a revenge pet. So I got a pet specifically to keep my invasive roommate out of my room, and apparently I'm the villain here. Okay, let me back up and explain this whole mess from 6 years ago that still bothers me. I was living with this friend of mine and her 13-year-old kid. Great kid, by the way, no complaints there. But the mom? Oh boy, where do I even start with this woman? So I had the master bedroom with the attached bathroom, right? She and her kid had their own separate rooms and shared the other bathrooms in the place. Sounds fair, sounds normal. Except this woman had zero respect for boundaries. She would constantly use my master bathroom to get ready, especially when I wasn't home. I'd come back to find her makeup all over my counter, her hair products everywhere, just completely taking over my personal space. And here's the kicker, she'd do this even when the other bathrooms were completely available. Like, what kind of person does that? I talked to her about it multiple times. I was polite at first, hey, can you please use your own bathroom, this is my private space. But she'd just brush it off like it was no big deal. The final straw was when I came home early one day and caught her in there, and she had the audacity to act annoyed that I interrupted her. That's when I realized I needed to take drastic action. See, I knew she was terrified of reptiles. Like, absolutely phobic level afraid. So I went out and got myself a bearded dragon. Beautiful little guy, really friendly, perfect pet. And here's the thing, I didn't get him just to be mean. I actually really wanted a pet, and I did my research and everything. But I'd be lying if I said her phobia wasn't a factor in my decision. The minute I brought that bearded dragon home, boom, problem solved. She wouldn't step foot in my room or my bathroom anymore. It was like I'd installed the world's most effective security system. Peace at last, right? Wrong. She was furious with me. Called me manipulative, said I was weaponizing her fear, all this dramatic stuff. But I never threatened her with the lizard or anything crazy like that. I just had a pet in my own room. A pet that happened to keep her from invading my privacy. Her kid thought it was hilarious, by the way. Even helped me name the little guy. But she was acting like I'd committed some horrible crime against her. The thing is, I tried talking to her about boundaries like a reasonable adult multiple times, and she completely ignored me. What was I supposed to do, change the locks? Get a restraint order against my own roommate? The bearded dragon solution was honestly pretty creative problem solving if you ask me. But apparently having a pet that coincidentally solves your roommate boundary issues makes you the bad guy. Am I wrong here, or was this actually kind of genius? If you're enjoying these stories, hit that like button and let me know in the comments which story you relate to the most. Story 2. 2 random teens asked me to take them to a hotel. So I'm 19, just got off work yesterday, walking to my car when these 2 guys approach me out of nowhere. They tell me they're 16 and need a place to stay, and they want me to take them to a hotel. Now, I know what you're thinking, red flags everywhere, right? But something about them seemed genuinely desperate, so against my better judgment, I decided to help. We walked to the first hotel, and immediately they're like, nope, too expensive. Okay, fair enough, some hotels are pretty pricey. So I drive them to a second one that was actually on my route home anyway. Again, too expensive, even after I offered to pay for half of it myself. At this point I'm starting to question my life choices, but these kids seemed really stuck, so I take them to a third hotel that was several minutes out of my way. The guy at the front desk takes one look at them and says they need an adult to check them in. The teens immediately look at me with these expectant eyes, like I'm supposed to just take responsibility for 2 complete strangers. And that's where I drew the line. I told them, look, I've already gone way above and beyond trying to help you guys find a place, but I'm not checking random minors into a hotel room. That's a whole level of liability and responsibility I'm not comfortable with. I mean, think about it, what if something happened to them? What if their parents were looking for them? What if they were runaways and I was somehow aiding that situation? I gave them some suggestions for other places they could try, like calling family members or looking into youth shelters, and then I left. But now I keep second-guessing myself. These were just kids, and they seemed really desperate for help. Maybe they were in genuine trouble and needed someone to step up. On the other hand, the whole situation was sketchy from the start. Who approaches random strangers in parking lots asking to be taken to hotels? And the fact that they rejected multiple options and then expected me to essentially become responsible for them felt like too much. I mean, I'm barely an adult myself at 19. I don't have experience dealing with homeless minors or whatever their situation was. Plus, what if it was some kind of scam or worse? You hear all these stories about people getting taken advantage of when they try to help strangers. But then again, what if they really were just desperate kids who needed help and I was their last hope? The whole thing has been eating at me since yesterday. I keep wondering if I should have done more, or if I was smart to protect myself and get out of a potentially dangerous situation. What would you have done in my shoes? Story 3. My family hid my mom's cancer surgery from me. So my mom potentially has cancer, had major surgery, and my entire family decided I shouldn't know about it. I'm 29 years old, by the way, not some fragile child who can't handle bad news. But apparently that's exactly how my family sees me. Here's what happened. Less than a month ago, my mom had surgery for appendicitis. Except it wasn't just appendicitis. During that whole ordeal, she specifically told my family not to tell me because she thought I had enough stress with work already. Can you believe that? My mom is having medical emergencies and I'm just supposed to be kept in the dark like some kind of outsider. Thankfully, one of my older siblings, I'm the youngest with a pretty big age gap, ended up telling me the day before because she was worried. She found out mom actually needed surgery and felt like I deserved to know. So I drove 4 hours immediately to be there for the surgery and everything that followed. Now fast forward to this week. Mom had to go back to the hospital because they found something suspicious during her appendectomy. They needed to do another surgery to investigate further, and guess what? Once again, the family decided not to tell me. I only found out because I happened to call my mom and she sounded off. When I pressed her about it, she finally admitted she was literally on her way to the hospital for surgery. Surgery that could determine if she has cancer, and I almost didn't know about it at all. So of course I dropped everything again and drove those 4 hours to be with her. The surgery went okay, but now we're waiting on pathology results to see if it's cancer. During all this, my family kept making these comments about how I didn't need to come, how I was overreacting, how they were just trying to protect me from unnecessary worry. Protect me? I'm a grown adult, and this is my mother we're talking about. The thing that really gets me is that they keep treating me like I'm this fragile person who can't handle reality. Yes, I've had some mental health struggles in the past, and yes, work has been stressful lately. But that doesn't mean I want to be excluded from major family medical crises. If anything, not knowing makes everything worse because then I'm imagining all sorts of scenarios and feeling completely helpless. And what if something had gone wrong during either surgery and I wasn't there? What if I missed my last chance to talk to my mom because my family decided I couldn't handle the truth? The whole thing has me questioning whether they actually see me as a real member of this family or just someone to be managed and protected like a child. I love that they want to look out for me, but there's a difference between support and complete exclusion. Am I wrong for being upset about this, or would you be furious too? Story 4. I refuse to thank my neighbor for saving my cat. So my neighbor is demanding I publicly thank her for saving my cat, except she didn't actually save my cat at all. This whole thing is driving me absolutely crazy. Here's what really happened. Monday I was bringing in groceries and somehow my cat managed to slip out into the hallway. I didn't notice for about 20 minutes, but the second I realized what happened, I went into full panic mode. I checked every single floor of our building, every possible hiding spot, posted immediately in our building chat, and put up flyers by the mailboxes and elevator. Nothing. No sign of my cat anywhere. I spent that entire night walking around the building until almost midnight, searching everywhere I could think of. Day 2, same thing. I'm posting more flyers, checking with neighbors, basically turning the place upside down looking for my cat. I'm starting to think the worst, you know. Maybe someone left a door open and my cat got outside, maybe something terrible happened. I'm barely sleeping, I'm a complete mess. Then Wednesday evening, my neighbor posts a photo of my cat in the building chat. Finally, right? I immediately message her asking where she found my cat and when I can come get him. And here's where this gets infuriating. She tells me she's had my cat since Tuesday morning. Tuesday morning. That means while I was losing my mind searching everywhere, putting up flyers, staying up all night worried sick, she had my cat the entire time. She saw my posts in the chat, she definitely saw my flyers since they were right by her door, and she said nothing for over 24 hours. When I asked her why she didn't say anything sooner, she gave me this ridiculous excuse about how she wanted to make sure it was really my cat first. Make sure. It's a distinctive looking cat, I had posted multiple photos, and we live in the same building. How much verification do you need? But wait, it gets worse. When I went to pick up my cat, she starts going on about how she rescued him from the stairwell, how she's basically a hero, how I should be more careful with my pets. Then she has the nerve to suggest that I should make a public post in our building chat thanking her for saving my cat and being such a good neighbor. I was so focused on just getting my cat back that I just nodded and left. But the more I think about it, the more angry I get. She didn't save my cat, she found my cat and then sat on that information while I was going through hell thinking I'd lost him forever. If she'd spoken up immediately when she found him Tuesday morning, I would have been grateful. I would have thanked her, maybe even gotten her a gift card or something. But letting me suffer for an entire day while she had my cat. That's not heroic, that's cruel. Now she's been asking me when I'm going to make that thank you post, and I've been avoiding her. Other neighbors who heard about the situation think I'm being ungrateful, but they don't know the full timeline. They just know she had my cat and returned him to me. Am I being unreasonable here, or is this woman completely out of line? If you enjoyed these stories, drop a comment telling me which one was your favorite. And if you want more relaxed Reddit readings, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed these stories, like, comment and subscribe for more relaxed Reddit readings.